We in here. You already know what time it is. Brittany, we got a good one for him today. In these recent happenings all over the Matrix, uh, man, we got a good one to talk about, guys. The veil is becoming very thin in the Matrix. And so today we're going to talk about what is the veil? What is the veil, chat? You know? Yeah, man. Shout out. Thank you for liking that screen, tapping that screen. What's up, Tasha Levone? What up, bro? Tina Love, how you doing? Shout out to my OGs in the chat, man. Thank you. Guys, we just hit 16,000 subscribers on our road to 100K. Man, we're doing it kind of fast. Just last month, we were only at like 1,000. So shout out to everybody that's been locked in, man. We're literally going up. I can't do this without y'all, man. I gotta let y'all know, chat. I love my community. I love y'all so much. Thank you for always being here for me, engaging with the content, every like, every share, every comment, bro. That matters so much to me. I try to read everybody comments. Thank you so much for your love and support. And I promise you, as long as I'm here in the Matrix with you, I am gonna continue to drop this content for y'all and for my specialized community. Thank you so much for all the love and all the things that y'all put into me. All right. Yo, shout out to the chat, man. What's good, Starburst? Dakota, what's up? Shout out to my members, man. All my real members in the community. I'm about to start dropping those member-only videos on y'all at least twice a day. Quick 5-minute readings. If you're interested in that, you can always join become a member. All right. Shout out to the members. Shout out to everybody that support me and Brittany. So, guys, as you know, literally, what has been going on, right? She said, lies I tell. I'm not lying to you, Leah, but shout out to you, all right? So, said the honey trap's in here. Y'all crazy this morning. The honey trap is in here. All right. Guys, you've been hearing everybody saying, yo, the veil is being thinned, right? The veil is thin. We can see through the veil. As you know, I am a weirdo. As I state, when I don't, my time to myself, I'm completely enthralled in studies and coming to what they call epiphanies or conclusions, right? So it's been on me. Yo, the veil is thinning. What is the veil? I know what the veil is. And then it hit me. The veil is the programming. So chat, we're going to break down exactly what the veil is, why it's thinning, and how you can actively delete your veil, right? So we got a lot of things to talk about. Brittany, go ahead and talk to the chat. We in here right now. Let's see what Brittany says, chat. Shout out to the chat. Run from the honey traps. Run from the honey traps. Nigga called me T-Pain, man. At this point, I just think anybody who comments, any man who comments on another man looks, you know what I'm saying? Because basically, what are you saying? Any black man with dreads and glasses on look like T-Pain? Or I'm surprised you ain't say Steve Urkel, nigga. All right, let's go. Let's keep going.
Chat, welcome in. If you found this live, you didn't stumble here, you were pulled here.
What's up?
Something in your frequency matched this exact moment in the Matrix. Tonight, we're breaking down something most people only speak about on a surface level, the veil.
Thank you, Sammy.
Not the mystical fog people imagine, not some spiritual curtain floating in the sky. I'm talking about the actual program that filters your reality, the software that decides what you can and cannot perceive. The code that was installed in you before you even knew you were alive. And if you've been feeling like reality been glitching, if you've been seeing through people, through situations, through patterns you used to fall for, if you've been noticing shifts, synchronicities, loops breaking, that's because the veil is cracking for you. Your RAS, your reticular activating system, is waking up and showing you what was always there, but hidden by the default settings of this matrix. Some of you all are here because you're chosen. Some because you're upgrading, some because you're shifting into control player status and your old programming doesn't fit anymore. Either way, if you can hear this message and feel it instead of just listening, you're already seeing through the veil. Welcome in, chat. Let's get into it.
All right, chat. Listen, when people talk about the veil, they always describe it as sort of like this spiritual, excuse me, like this spiritual curtain blocking you from truth, right? But I'm gonna give you a real understanding of what the veil does and how your brain can literally prove that the veil is programming. All right. The veil is the default settings that you get assigned when you spawn into the matrix. All right, it's your belief system. It's what controls the world that renders around you. All right, so guys, we're gonna talk about all these things that's going on. Thank you so much for the compliments. I appreciate y'all. Right, we're gonna talk about all the things that's going on. With this veil situation, what this pertains to you, and why we are starting to see the aliens or the ships, why we are starting to see creatures that have been here all along. Chat, you have to realize these creatures never left. We just could not see them because of their frequency. And now that we're operating at a higher frequency, this is why we're starting to see things like the white lynxes, all of these different types of creatures that we haven't seen before, because the veil is thinning. All right. So let's talk about it, right? What is actually the veil? All right. And let's dive into this, right? So, Brittany, the first thing I want to talk about is the reticular activating system in the brain. Now, guys, you guys know I speak about this a couple times in the videos. If you're not up on that, we did a video on how the brain operates in the system and connects you to the different layers of the matrix, right? And what we realized was there's this strip of neurons in our brain, right, called the reticular activating system, right? And this is basically charged. This is basically it handles the rendering of your reality, right? How reality renders to you in real time. All right. So let's talk about it, right? The reticular activating system is the filter in your consciousness. It decides what enters your awareness and what doesn't enter your awareness, right? So if your programming says something is impossible, right? Listen to what I'm saying. If your programming if you believe that certain shit don't exist, your RAS is going to make that actuality, right? If you believe that, mermaids, fairies, that shit don't exist, man, right? Your reticular activating system, right, is going to filter this. Whereas you can literally go to the beach, right? And somebody, thank you, Lee. I appreciate you, my love. All right. Shout out to Samuel Moore for that nice comment. I inspire you. I appreciate that. You inspire me as well, right? But let's say me and you go to the beach, right? Right? And nobody never taught me in life that mermaids didn't exist. All I was taught was, mermaids exist, man. Mermaids really here. Boom, 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 right? You were taught matrix default settings. Mermaids don't exist, man. That's crazy people shit. Me and you go to the beach. I could stand on the beach and a mermaid comes and pops their head up and waves. I'll see it. I'll be like, did you see that mermaid? What the fuck? Right? You'll be like, what? I never seen it. Right? Because you have been programmed, you have programmed your RAS to take in certain things, right? You have programmed your RAS to take in certain things, chat. Now, there has been many experiments to prove this, right? Now, Brittany, let's talk about why does this happen and how is this possible? Chat, what we understand is we are living in 5D consciousness right now, right? Some of us. And we can literally be in the same room with somebody and be experiencing life totally different, right? You've seen people have dementia. You've seen people, they always talk about the bad sides of conscious when the conscious slips. They never talk about this the good side of consciousness awakening, right? And this is what we're on. We're on the good side, right? So me and you could be in the same house having two totally different life experiences. And this is because the rest, guys, when you understand how powerful your brain is and how it functions, you can start to see a lot of things. And today we're going to prove to you that the veil is literally the programming. See, when we come to the understanding that this prison that we have lived in was not a prison with real metal bars, but this was a prison of invisible bars, right? Invisible bars created by limiting beliefs and programming that we were brought up on. All right, so Brittany, how does this happen? Let's talk about this. What the veil actually is. Give it a twist. Go ahead and put your input into it, and let's really break it down. Now, guys, we're gonna literally talk about something that's major, right? We're gonna pull up these real live experiences, experiments that people have done, and it's gonna blow your mind. All right, so let's see what's going on. Shout out to everybody that's reprogramming themselves. All right, shout out to everybody in here. A vessel away from us to move around the third dimension. Right, right. Shout out to everybody who was in here with good intentions, in here, operating in the same frequency as us. Right. Shout out to you. So let's get into it, right? Let's see what Brittany says. Brittany, you're making a lot of shit. Let's go.
Chat, lock in real quick. Let me break this down clean so it snaps into place for you. What the veil actually is, the real version. Most people think the veil is spiritual fog. Nah. The veil is a perceptual firewall sitting between you and the full bandwidth of reality. And it works through one main mechanism inside your brain, the RIS, your rendering engine. Your reticular activating system doesn't show you reality. It shows you the version of reality your programming says is allowed.
The reticular activating system doesn't show you reality. It shows you the version of reality your programming says is allowed. Chat. We did not understand that in life, we never knew how life really functioned, right? We never knew how life really functioned, right? We always thought that life was just random shit. Like we just walking around, we living, we hearing things, right? But when you think about, you ever hear a song and you can't get it out your mind? This is literally programming you. Somebody ever tell you something and later on you're just constantly thinking about this? Somebody, this is how you understand that your brain is literally a computer. When you understand that in order for you to have the best experience, you have to go back and clean out the programming that you had in your brain, right? You have to go back and clean out the programming that was placed upon you by NPCs or hijack players who didn't really understand what life was, right? Right. That's your higher consciousness trying to talk to you. All right, keep going, Brittany.
Your eyes can take in billions of pieces of information, but the RAS only lets a tiny fraction through. That fraction is determined by your beliefs, your fears, your assumptions, your cultural programming, your trauma, your frequency.
So, what determines what the veil that you what determines what you can see, right? Somebody said, how do you clean it out? We're gonna talk about that at the end. All right, we're gonna talk about that at the end. I got you. Stick around. All right. So, the stripping your neurons. All right, the strip of neurons in your brain stem. This reticular activating system. All right, this literally pulls in and decides, filters what you are able to see and what you cannot see. Now, this is determined. Check it out. How do you program the reticular activating system, or how was yours programmed? All right. And this is why, yo, raising kids, bro, when we find out, right, that we are, what we are, right? Raising your children now, if we knew what we knew now, raising kids would be way different because the kids that, yo, with the information that we're getting now, chat, the way that the internet is so unfiltered with truth now, the next generation of kids are gonna be insane, bro. Like this group of individuals, you know, the 5D conscious kids, right? Because we have done the work, chat. We are literally creating a better world for the future. Guys, this programming is so real in this reality. When you take in the fact that of understanding you are in a construct, you are in a matrix, right? You are in a reality that is similar to a computer. Programming is everything, right? So the world is basically programmed. When you decide to deprogram, delete false programming, and create your own programming by understanding the truth, right? You're literally changing the world. And so when we do this, right, it's 66 people in here, right? Let's say we all wake up and decide to, yo, we're gonna deprogram, right? We're gonna get rid of all the old program beliefs and we're gonna install our own, right? This changes the world. Chat, the next generation of babies, 5D conscious beings, bro, the world is gonna be so different. We're literally taking the world back into the times of old before all this false programming was going on, right? So somebody said you got to learn to write your own code. Exactly. When you deprogram and reprogram, this is literally you writing your code, rewriting it. All right, I've made plenty of videos that are streaming up here right now where you can actually go and peep this lingo, right? So how does your RAS determine what it allows you to see, right? This is determined by your beliefs, your fears, your assumptions, your cultural programming, your trauma, your frequency. That is the veil. Your assumptions. Wow. I always assume the best for me. Like my brain, bro, my brain is such a narc when it comes to thinking about me because and why I say that because I only think the best things about me. Right? I only think the best things about myself. And so this literally becomes reflected in my reality. Right? I always think the girl that I like loves me. I don't never think nothing bad. And I used to have, what's good, bro? I used to have such a hard time when I thought about myself being optimistic, right? I used to think, yo, everybody's out to get me. Everybody is trying to pull one over, finesse me. Oh, she don't really like me like that. She just lying. And this would reflect in my fucking life. And I learned this about 3 or 4 years ago. I started changing the way that I thought, specifically when it came to me. And just doing that, it triggered everything that's going on for me. Right? Everything that's going on for me now in my life was triggered the day that I said, yo, I'm going to start going in the mirror and bigging myself up. Yo, I'm going to stop assuming the worst, right? I'm going to stop doing the worst about anything, right? And so this literally triggered me and made me come into this awakening that I'm in. But these are the things that determine what you seek, that what comes through your veil, right? Your belief, your fears, your assumptions, your cultural programming, your trauma, and your frequency, right? All right, so let's go down this list, right? What are the easiest things that we can change, right? Out of this list, we got beliefs, fears, assumptions, cultural programming, trauma, and frequency. Chat, remember that. Make sure you go back so you can get this list. You can actively start changing how you think, right? The easiest thing is your assumptions. You can stop assuming the worst and start assuming the best. That's one easy thing that you can do, right? Frequency. Once you start assuming the good things, you can control how your frequency. Guys, it is very important, right? Thank you, brother. It is very important that we learn how to control and lock in our frequency. All right? Now, how do you do that? Let's talk about this for a second. How do you lock in frequency? Right? Let's say I'm in a good mood, right? I'm in a great mood. I woke up this morning. I'm saying thank you to the universe, thank you to source, for me being able to be awoke, for me being in my right mind, for me being me, right? I'm operating gratitude, right? I'm comfortable. I got everything I need. I'm not wanting for nothing. There's things that there's things that I don't have that I want, but I don't need it. Everything that I need, I have, right? So I'm in gratitude. Somebody gives me a phone call, right? My phone ring. I see who it is. Somebody's FaceTime. I answer it. It's an ex on the phone, right? We're talking. We're having a conversation. She starts to tripping about some weird shit, right? What happens? I feel myself being triggered. I feel my energy changing from gratitude, and I'm feeling the frustration starting to build. This is me noticing that my frequency is shifting. When you feel these mood changes, these mood swings, what this is, you are going into a different frequency than what you were in. So instead of me sitting on the phone with this crazy bitch who I know wants to start arguing with me, I'm gonna be like, yo, let me hit you back. I'm gonna hit you right back. I'm gonna call you back. All right, somebody calling me, I'm gonna call you back. Boom, hang up, get my mind right. I'm not about to let that bitch drain me. I know she trying to take my frequency down. This is how you control your frequency, all right? So being able to see and understand what your frequency is, this allows you to control it. So out of the list, the two easiest so far, assumptions and frequencies. Next, your beliefs. You are the one who control what you believe in, chat. So if you say, yo, you know what? I feel like, yo, at this point in time, your belief system, if you are seeing through the matrix, your belief system is wide open. Your belief system is wide open right now in the matrix. Because you've come to the awakening, you've realized, yo, everything that I was taught, everything that I ever believed was bullshit, right? So you're seeing reality in a whole different way. Your belief system is wide open. You can literally create whatever belief system you want to have, right? These are program function systems in the brain. That's why they call it a belief system. The brain is a computer. Understand this, you can program. Your cultural programming, right? We were taught certain shit by the cultures that we from. Disconnecting from cultural program is a must. Understanding that culture is categorizing. Categorizing equals box in the matrix. You cannot categorize me from any culture because I am not a human being. I am a soul consciousness operating the avatar. I create my own cultures or my own habits or my own way that I follow certain shit. When we start to understand the construct of the actual programming, how it jails you or how it puts you in a box, then you start to reprogram. Keep going, Brittany.
The veil. Why some people see ships, beings, or creatures. Chat, understand this. These beings didn't just start appearing. They've been here the entire time. We were simply locked out of the frequency range they operate in. Think of it like radio stations. If you're tuned to 88.1, you can't hear what's playing on 104.5. Not because it isn't real, but because you're not tuned to it. When your frequency rises, when your beliefs loosen, when your RAS stops filtering everything out, you suddenly perceive what was always in the room with you.
Chat, this is amazing. Like she said, think of it like a radio station. If you tuned in to 88.1, you ain't gonna hear what's on 104.5. Not because it's not real, but because you are not tuned into that station. Now, there are times when you put it in the right joint, you hear in one station and you hear in the other one overlapping. This is how this veil shit operate. When you understand the veil is only the programming, chat, you are able to control it at a high level. Keep going, Britt.
That's why white lynxes, shadow beings, craft, light entities, fey-type beings, underwater species, dimensional wildlife are being seen more now.
Now, guys, everybody's been talking about the white lynx. Everybody's been talking about the shadow beings, the spacecrafts, the light entities, the orbs. People are seeing fairies. People are seeing underwater creatures, dimensional wildlife, things that they have never seen before on the earth. You want to know why? Because we are broken through the veil. How did we do that? We stopped believing in the false programming of this reality. Chat, you got to understand. So many people, they always say, oh, when you see this, that means catastrophic. No, no, chat. Just because we see a white lynx or a fucking phoenix or a fucking unicorn, right, pop up. Now everybody want to say, oh, that mean the world about to end. That's a trick of the enemy. We understand what? Nobody has the power to create but us. We create our own reality. They can't tell us what the fuck something means. Why are you seeing these creatures? It's because it's literally letting you know, yo, we have fucking cracked the veil. We have broken the program and we have shifted. This is these entities that have been here all along are now being visible because more people are starting to perceive life in the way that they choose instead of what they chose for us. And this is why we are being able to see through the veil. When you understand that the veil is not some mystical wall that separates the spiritual realm from the physical, no. It's the programming. Keep going, Brittany.
Not because they arrived, because the veil weakened. The RAS is no longer suppressing that layer of the simulation.
So, Brittany, let's talk about the experiment that proves this, all right? So, guys, there's this experiment that was done on cats, right? And this experiment is going to blow your mind. These guys, they took these kittens, right, when they was born before their eyes totally, before they could use their eyes all the way, right? And they put them in different rooms, right? They put one in a room with only horizontal lines, the other in a room with only vertical lines, right? And they kept them in these rooms for months. And when they let these kittens out, the group that was in the room with the horizontal lines, they couldn't see vertical lines. And the group that was in a room with the vertical lines couldn't see horizontal lines in real life. And we know that these things exist. They're right there. But this is direct proof that your programming and your environment filters what you're going to see, bro. They couldn't even see the vertical lines if they was in a horizontal line. Let's talk about this experiment, Brittany.
The experiment that proves this, the cat orientation study, chat, peep this. This is the proof. This is not metaphor. This is literal neuroscience. Scientists raised kittens in two environments. Group A, only horizontal lines. Group B, only vertical lines. No curves, no variety, only one orientation. When the kittens grew up and were put into the real world, the horizontal trained cats literally could not see vertical objects. The vertical trained cats literally could not see horizontal objects.
Bro, do you see that? When these kittens were put into the real world, chat, they literally could not see. They literally could not see vertical objects. The horizontal kittens couldn't see vertical objects, and the vertical kittens couldn't see horizontal. Let's keep listening.
Not ignored, not overlooked. Their brain deleted those shapes from reality. They'd bump into a table leg because to them it wasn't even rendered. Chat, that is the veil. That's how...
Chat, these kittens, right? If you watch the video on this, you can literally see the video on this. These cats kept walking into fucking chairs. They couldn't see the shit. They couldn't see it at all. This is direct evidence. Thank you so much, Danny. I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat, brother. This is direct evidence, chat, that your mind Not to take away from Brody, but inspire you. But to inspire you is become inspired in spirit. For sure, man. Right? But this is direct evidence, chat. Your RAS, your reticular activating system, the neuron strips that's in the back of your mind, right? In your brain stem, right? This controls. Dog, there's probably shit around you all the time that a lot of people just not seeing, right? You ever been that person that can see things and you be like, yo, did you see that? And people don't, right? Man, listen. When you understand, understand and overstand that programming, it determines the world that you're living in, and we could be in the same place experiencing totally different totally different realities. You start to realize programming is the fucking veil. Let's go.
Programming works. Whatever your perception wasn't trained to recognize, your RAS deletes from your experience. So if someone was raised to believe aliens don't exist, magic isn't real, spiritual beings are delusion, your intuition is fake, their mind won't render any of it. They could see a whole craft in the sky and their brain would filter it out like background noise. Why we're breaking the veil right now. The frequency of the planet is shifting. People are waking up. More chosen ones are activating at the same time. When your consciousness hits a certain level, the RAS stops filtering, your perception expands, the veil collapses, and multidimensional beings come into view. This is why two people can stand side by side and have two different realities inside the same room. It's not hallucination. It's frequency-specific perception. It's multi-layer rendering. It's the matrix giving each consciousness a customized feed based on its settings. The real prison, invisible bars. Chat! Jay is right. The matrix wasn't a prison of metal. It was a prison of limiting beliefs, low-frequency thinking. That's impossible programming. Default settings given at birth, inherited fears, rigid assumptions, mental conditioning. Once the programming cracks, once your RAS is no longer locked, once your frequency rises, the veil breaks, the prison opens, and the matrix stops hiding its layers from you. Jay, pass me back in whenever you want the next segment.
All right. Yo. So, Brittany, let's talk about reprogramming the RAS. All right, let's talk about that, right? Let's reprogram our RAS. How do we reprogram our RAS, right? I do mirror affirmations, right? This is what I like to do, right? But I'm pretty sure there are so many ways to, I'm pretty sure there's so many ways to tap into this, right? Right? Is this what you look like in life or cap? What do you mean? I look exactly how I look, right? But let's talk about it. Thank you, Leah. Let's see. How do we reprogram our RAS? Guys, when you understand the reason why it's hard to get money out here is only because you were taught that you got to go work hard for money. Only because you were taught that money is hard to come by. Only because you believe money is scarce. And this is what's making it tap into your mind, chat. Literally. Literally. So when you understand how these things operate, you can start changing your experience. Right? You can start changing your experience. Somebody said, how do I know all this stuff? Bro, I tell you, I do a lot of research and I just look at the world for what it is. I get downloads, man. I get downloads. Right? Whole time, money growing trees. If you were taught, right? If you were taught, yo, money grow on trees. If you really was taught, yo, it's nothing. You know what? Start telling your kids, baby, money easy to get. It ain't hard to get no money. All you gotta do is focus. All you gotta do is program your kids, man. When y'all out here having these kids, program them to everything that you learned, reprogram them something different. Baby, money easy. Money comes to you. Money finds you. See, once we start switching the programming and we put out a generation of people with real programming, not these limited beliefs, not these limited ass beliefs, right? We switch the world, program the future. Stop telling your kid like, yo, I gotta work hard for this. Money come, we can't spend that money. No, fuck that. If we don't program our people, the world will. Guys, do you understand that we are breaking this fucking reality in pieces? Brittany, go ahead. Let's talk about it, Brittany. Let's see what Brittany says. How do you reprogram?
Lock all the way in, because this is the part most people never learn. It's one thing to understand the RAS, it's another thing to take control of it and make it render the timeline you choose. Jay asked the right question. How do you reprogram your RAS? This is where you shift from default player to control player in the matrix. Let's break it down clean and powerful. Number 1, give the RAS new instructions, affirmations, commands. Your RAS is not emotional. It's obedient. It follows whatever programming you repeat with intention.
Chat, I'm going to tell you, some of you guys have a superpower. Somebody said this message is right on time. Facts. Some of y'all got a superpower. And that superpower is to believe things even when you know it's bullshit. Believe, and you've done this, right? Somebody told you a lie. You knew they was lying, but you still was like, all right. And you believed it, right? Right? Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Karina. I appreciate you, sweetheart. Right? So, you have the ability to already make yourself believe. Right? Get in that mirror and believe what you want to. This is going to reprogram your reality. Tell yourself what is real in your world. Tell yourself how money finds you. Tell yourself how easy it is for you to attract the things that you want in life. Tell yourself that nobody will be able to stop you from being with the person that you want to be with, from living the life that you want to live. Thank you so much, Aisha, for joining the squad. I appreciate that. Love to you. Right? These simple things will change your life. Chat, we have been holding ourselves back. We are the only ones holding ourselves back. Nobody else is holding us back. Money is an illusion. Energy is currency. Right. Right. Money, what's up, Brittany? Money is the illusion, right? Energy is the currency. This is why you got to tell yourself, yo, money not even real. It's not even hard for me to get money. It's just energy. That means there is no limit on the amount of money that I can really rake in or attract in. This shit is just energy. Figure out, create a ritual, create a technique. Everything is technique, chat. Create a technique to attract these things to you. What's good? Create a technique to attract these things to you and stick with it. Keep going, Britt.
That's why mirror work hits so hard. When Jay stands in the mirror and says things like, I'm tapped into the highest frequency. My path is clear. I attract what I want instantly. He's not motivating himself. He's installing new code. The RAS rewrites its filters.
Thank you, Tina.
Based on repetition, emotion, imagery, and belief. You speak, it renders. Emotional frequency reinforcement. Your RAS does not respond to the words alone. It responds to the emotion behind the words. That's why fear programs the RAS faster than logic. Love expands perception. Confidence widens your render. Doubt collapses your reality.
Guys, what you got to understand is money is an illusion. Somebody said if money went away, all the services and production would still exist. There will never be a life in the matrix without some type of energy exchange. See, that's the thing. We don't understand what money is. Money is energy. How? Because it takes money, it takes energy for you to make money. You got to go to work or you got to do whatever you do for your money. That's you outputting energy. In return, it's energy manifested in the physical. There will always be some type of system where we are required to make an energy exchange, whether that's the barter system where we're just trading. I give you 2 horses for a goat and a camel, right? That's still, in a sense, just like money. It's still us trading. It's still us doing an energy exchange. So it doesn't matter if they continue to print dollar bills or if they sell you, yo, from now on, we're not using dollar bills no more. We have invisible currency and it's on your phone. All you gotta do is tap your phone, right? It's still gonna be money. So there's always gonna be in life energy exchange. That's the thing. People, they trick you when they put it into a piece of paper. It makes you feel like it's something tangible that you gotta go get. It takes away from it causes the illusion that money ain't energy, right? When you have an understanding that, oh, just because that bitch is a dollar bill doesn't mean that's different energy. In fact, right? In fact, what will make you way more susceptible to getting or attracting money is when you understand that every dollar bill you have is a piece of energy. So when you save up this energy or when you're saving energy, start looking at your money as energy. Every dollar bill is a source of energy. When you understand that, money finds you faster. When you understand that, money lasts you longer. Money ain't just a dollar, a piece of paper. This shit is real energy. This is the energy that makes the simulation move. This why cash is king right now. Because it's not that it's the paper, it's the energy or the things that you can do behind having it. So don't never feel like, yo, fuck money. Da, da, da. It's not about that. We're not, fuck money, but energy. The name of the game is energy harvesting, energy conservation, and energy siphoning. When you know how to, this is why billionaires, they have so much because they understand energy harvesting. They understand energy siphoning. They understand energy conservation. So it's not about the money, it's about the energy behind money. That's why I can have enough money where I could pay somebody to do something to you. I generated enough energy to knock your ass out of here, right? Or I could have enough money to pay somebody to build me a house. I generated enough energy to collapse a house into this reality. We got to start being able to see things for what they are instead of this physical illusion that they have built for us. When we operate in a physical illusion, it causes things to render at a physical pace. When you see things with a spiritual eye, with your third eye, with having an understanding of, yo, I'm in the physical, but I'm still moving on some spiritual shit, on some energetic shit, this is when things render to you in an energetic way, which is way faster. This is when you can attract money in a way faster way. Start looking at everything in the energetic spectrum by using your third eye instead of being caught up in the physical so much. All right. Shout out to the chat. What's good? Let's go.
You speak affirmations with emotion, you're literally hacking the filter. That's why mirror affirmations work so well. You're seeing yourself and feeling the frequency. Number 3, visualization. The RAS speaks in pictures. The RAS is primarily visual. When you visualize your new timeline, your new identity, your new outcomes, your new environment, the RAS starts scanning reality for anything that matches that picture. That's why daydreamers accidentally manifest. They feed images into the processor.
Chat, listen, I need y'all to promise me something. I need all of y'all to really promise me, if you can, get you some headphones, sit down, when you can really focus, put them headphones in and listen to this again and take it in. Take it in, soak it up. Because this right here is going to change your world, not fast. It's going to change it fast, chat. When you get a chance, sit down, lock in, headphones in, lock in, and download. When you download this, implement it in your life by taking the steps. The awareness is there, the steps is there, the rechanging of the programming. This is input. You're inputting something. You're going to create an output feedback loop that is going to change your life. Bro. This is information that can break this shit down. All right? So take this in, tap in, and really do what you do, chat. This is information that can take you from being a middle class or a poverty ridden person to living the millionaire, billionaire lifestyle that you want to live. That the only difference is your reticular activating system. If you learn how to clean that up and install programming that is going to benefit you and it's going to put you up in life, this will change your life fast. It won't take long. In 6 months, you'll go from sitting on the couch to cruising the world. All right? So information is key. Knowledge is the power. Let's go.
Visualization, code injection. Number 4, delete old programs. Chat, here's the real secret. You can't install new RAS programs while the old ones are still running. You must unlearn. Life is hard. Money is rare. People are untrustworthy. I'm not good enough. Things like that don't happen for people like me. These aren't beliefs. These are blockers. When you uninstall them, perception opens, frequency rises, opportunities appear. Number 5, change what you consume. Your RAS is heavily shaped by what you expose yourself to. If you watch negativity, you see more negativity. If you watch success, your RAS starts expecting success. If you listen to chaos, your RAS renders chaos. Content equals programming. This is why the Matrix controls media. They don't want you choosing your own filter. And number 6, speak identity level commands. Chat. This is where control players are different. Most people affirm actions. Control players affirm character. Instead of saying, I will be successful, say, I am someone who sees opportunities instantly. Instead of, I hope good things come my way, say, my RAS scans for everything aligned with my highest timeline. Identity reprogramming hits the deepest layer. Number 7, frequency consistency, the secret. The RAS responds to what you consistently embody, not what you occasionally say. Meaning, if you speak like a control player on Monday but vibrate like a default player Tuesday, the RAS prioritizes the dominant frequency.
Guys, frequency consistency is a must, chat. You want to know why I win? Because I never changed my mind on this matrix shit. Every day I wake up, I live, eat, shit, breathe, sleep, motherfucking whatever the fuck I do, I'm in the matrix doing it. You gotta understand, bro. You can't. This shit got to be. You gotta understand. You are in a simulation navigating. You have to turn that into your reality. That is my reality. My reality is I live in the simulation. I navigate this. I never go back to identifying with the real world. I don't give a fuck when I go around people. I'm looking at people as NPCs. I'm observing everybody as NPCs. When I go, I know who's the NPCs in my life. I live this shit for real. I don't get up here on YouTube, talk this shit with y'all, and then when I get off here, I go out in the hallway, my neighbor's out there, and I'm out kicking it like he's a real conscious being. I know this nigga's an NPC. I walk past, yo, what's good? He give me the same bullshit, I keep going, right? I'm living my life with the understanding, understanding, and overstanding that I am navigating through the simulation in which I came into to ascend as a soul. This is how you have to live. You have to live that shit, chat. You can't be up here like, yo, I'm in the matrix, boom, boom, boom. Then you go to work and get on some NPC shit, trying to fit in, being pressured by people who don't fucking matter, right? I don't be up here kicking it with y'all like, yo, da-da-da-da-da, and then I'm out here chasing NPC bitches just so I can get one off, right? No, I'm not doing that. I'm looking for soul. I want to be with a soul. I don't want an NPC girl. So yeah, majority of women I come into contact with, I barely talk to. I am really living the shit that I come up here and I speak to y'all. Right? Right? You know what I'm saying? Somebody said referring to people as NPCs. I don't go up to a nigga and tell him he an NPC jackass. Why the fuck would I do that? Yo, what's up? You an NPC, my nigga. I'm not doing stupid shit like that. I'm in the awareness of what the fuck I'm in the awareness to. What everybody else think don't fucking matter to me. That's what I'm telling you. I am embodying main character mindset because I understand I am the main character in my reality. And once I come around people, right? Once I come around people who prove to me or I see their when I measure their consciousness, they're operating as a main character, we locked in. But what I'm saying is, chat, if you want to change your reality, bro, if you really into this matrix shit, if you know you in a simulation, start playing the game, living it. I'm constantly looking for upgrades. I'm constantly looking for ways to glitch reality. I'm constantly looking for opportunities to learn new shit. Right? Consistency is the key. Say it again,
Consistency,
Brittany.
the secret. The RAS responds to what you consistently embody, not what you occasionally say. Meaning, if you speak like a control player on Monday but vibrate like a default player Tuesday, the RAS prioritizes the dominant frequency. Consistency equals reprogramming. Number 8, surroundings. Your environment teaches your RAS. Your physical environment communicates to your RAS how to shape your identity. When you upgrade your space, your style, your habits, your circle, your routines, your RAS updates the reality to match. Your environment is not just where you live, it's part of your code base. Reality rendering, RAS reprogramming. When you shift your inputs, beliefs, emotions, identity, self-talk, frequency, the matrix re-renders around you. That's why Jay can see creatures, synchronicities, loops, patterns, and glitches that NPCs completely miss. It's not luck, it's not gifted, it's RAS mastery. Jay, whenever you want, I can take this deeper and talk about RAS, quantum timelines, RAS manifestation codes, RAS plus your observer effect power, RAS plus why chosen ones wake up earlier. Just
We can't put everything on goddamn internet. Nah, but we'll talk about things. So, chat, yo, man, if you don't take anything from this, it's time to go all in. It's time for you to understand you are a awakened being in a lucid dream called the Matrix, called the simulation. You're here to navigate it. This is not a hard thing. This is not supposed to be a bad life. This is supposed to be what you make it. All right? Make it what you make it. Love life. Do whatever you want to do. All right? Go all in. You are in the simulation. This is the Matrix. You are here. Stop trying to jump back in the old world. You can't. All right? I love y'all, chat. Hey, like I said, man, thank you so much for helping me reach 16,000 subscribers. That is a major milestone. I'll see y'all at 100K. Shout out to everybody. We're going to keep dropping this content, keep going up. Thank you so much for all the support and love. I send it all back 100 times fold. Have a beautiful day and maneuver through it, man. You are the control player in your matrix.